Hello, and welcome to the final cut, half cut, with me, totally uncut. That's not a circumcision joke, that's I'm stone cold sober. Jason Winter, that's me making the shit joke straight away. Hello, with my co hosts, Nick and Elliot. How are you, lads?
Good, and I am uncut.
I am also uncut.
Happy days, we're all British. None of us are Jewish here. Happy.
God damn it.
Just make it weird straight away. Brilliant. Okay. We're all uncircumcised. Alright, let's fucking move on.
Get your words out.
Yeah, happy days. Right. We've gone in straight away. We've gone in weird and strong. How I like it. How are you? You both well?
I'm doing great.
Before that.
So was I. Sorry, I'm down in my non-alcoholic beer because I am 99. Hang on, let me tell you. 95 days sober. So there you go. That's probably why we haven't been recording.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I'll go 100 days on the 1st of May, and then I will return to the pub for a pint of Guinness or something. Who knows?
I'm 1 day sober.
Oh yeah, that's fair enough, mate. That's fair enough.
I'm about 3
Good on
beers
you.
in right now, so.
That's all right, mate. I envy you both. It's just, I'll be back. Yeah. Welcome back to the podcast, lads. It's been a while, but yeah, just wanted to find out what you. Yeah, no worries. It's
I've been on holiday in Dubai.
Have you? Oh yeah.
Living life.
All right, sweet. Yeah. Can we all just make up wonderful lives about ourselves?
Yeah.
I've got no. That's the actor in you, El. You just did that.
Me and Marge have celebrated our 10-year anniversary.
You and who?
The kids are fantastic. Me and my wife Marjorie.
Marjorie,
celebrated
very
our 10-year
nice.
anniversary. Yeah.
She's a great girl.
She's a great girl. A lovely woman. Not physically attractive, but a great personality.
I have nothing. I don't know what to make up about myself. My bodybuilding regime is going well. I'm looking forward to the Arnold Classic in a couple of weeks.
There you go.
Just been bulking or shredding now. Shredding hard. It's just.
I am actually shredding, to be
Oh, yeah?
honest. Yeah, I'm trying to get ripped.
Just boiled chicken and broccoli in it, no sauce.
No, to be honest, it's quite balanced.
All right.
I'm doing well with it.
Well, mine
Got a bit of
is
sauce.
broccoli and chicken. No, I'm not actually. I'm all right. I'm healthy, but I'm having pulled pork for dinner with some sriracha hot sauce. Oh, naughty! I like to put myself through that pain, which is why we're back on the podcast. Hey, so, I thought I'd start off and ask, just broadly, what you guys have been watching. I don't know if you want me to start or do you two want to tell me and then I'll tell you and get to the point of today's topic. Is that all right?
I would prefer you to start so I can.
Prefer me to start. It kicks you off. Okay.
No,
I can think about
it's just
Alright.
so I can look up films and see what opinion I should have on them instead of actually watching.
All right. Okay. Cool. All right. Good. What have I been watching?
What do I think about Mortal Kombat? I can just Google it and that can be my opinion.
I haven't watched Mortal Kombat yet. A lot of people have seen it and said it's okay.
I'm gonna watch that tonight.
Oh yeah? What platform is it on? Or are you gonna watch that illegally? Are you doing hashtag naughty stream?
I'm going to watch it
Legally, but we'll talk about that off air.
Somewhere legal.
I also want to check it out. I think I mentioned previously that I watched the original 90s one, which is a banger anyway. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Trailers look good. I was going to watch that Jiu-Jitsu film with Nicolas Cage the other night, but I'm waiting to watch it with my girlfriend apparently because we're watching it ironically. You know, it's so shit that it's good. That's what I'm hopeful about it. What have I been watching? Watched the Marvel, Falcon and the Winter Soldier series. I've watched the One Division series. I've watched Justice League. I've watched Shooting Joe Exotic. I watched a really cool documentary called Wild Wild Country on Netflix, which is all about the Rajneeshi cult.
Rajneeshi. Oh yeah, that's fucking crazy shit, bro.
It's really mad. Yeah, it's one of the most interesting things I've ever fucking witnessed. It's Have you heard of it, Elliot, or do you want me to briefly?
I've never heard.
Okay, so back in the 70s, this guy Rajneesh, he's like the second. He's said as the second coming of the Buddha. He's this super spiritual, woke, wise.
He was a yogi, wasn't he?
Yeah. It was essentially he was a guru, and but on steroids. The guy writes a load of books. He was also a yoga teacher, and a broad spiritual leader in India, but started to bring in these middle class, like American and Western European people. Obviously, they got a few quid, yeah. So he has a nice gaff there, and I can't remember why he falls out. He's in trouble with the authorities, and so he flees to America. Cut long story short, it's about a small town that is invaded by this cult, and they buy this massive ranch and start to build a city. Well, they do build a city, and like it just gets really out of control really fast, and just the clash of cultures between like you kind of like backwater America, small town in America, versus really out there cult leader, like wild sex parties and drugs and the hippie stuff, and the whole government gets involved, and it just escalates into such a they nearly go to war with each other, and they have to kick them out and extradite them, and the FBI get involved, and it's brilliant.
Also, it involves an act of bioterrorism.
Yeah, all of the poisoning they do and stuff, but I won't ruin it for people that want to watch it. And also Elliot, it's one of those great documentaries on Netflix. It's just all the archive 90s footage, helicopter footage with the interviewing of all the key players, and it's one of those bingeable series that it's wild, and it's called Wild Wild Country. It's good. It's good. It's a really good documentary. But yeah, it's just one of those things. It's got all those tasty documentary flavours that you want. So I watched that. Typically, as a massive snooker fan, the only sporting sport. Yeah, it's a sporting sport. I tell you that much. I've been watching the World Snooker Championships. That's the most boring thing I've been watching.
You do like your snooker?
I fucking love it, mate. I love a bit of Q Sports. Yeah, going back to play it soon. Who knows? I might win it one day. No, I won't. Win. I'll probably never be world champion at snooker, unfortunately. It's like, how do you guys accept, like, if you'll never be, like, the moment you realise when you're like 25 and you realise you can't actually be a professional footballer. Do you know that feeling of like, oh, I can't actually do this thing?
Oh, I've still got that.
I hit that at like maybe 9.
That realisation, yeah.
I know, when I was like the slow kid, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna be an athlete in any regard.
Yeah, I think I've just been deluded way into my adult years. That's the only way I keep going. You know what I mean?
You've got to stay positive, haven't you?
Yeah, positive / deluded. Are they two of the same thing? Who knows? Yeah.
A wise man once said.
Yeah, something like that.
You have 2 lives.
Right. Is that is that what the Rajneesh said? Is that what in the cult?
You have 2 lives.
Right.
And then
you're sweet.
The second one starts when you realise you only have. Oh fuck.
Yeah, you fucked it. Don't worry, mate. Don't worry. Yeah, that's for the Do Be Inspired podcast, isn't it?
Yeah. Hashtag Do Be Inspired.
Yeah. Hashtag. Oh, I'm gonna tag him and everything.
I got fired. As you can tell, I got fired from being a promoter. I just forget all the quotes.
Yeah. I've got no comment. I think certain people that run the Do Be Inspired Instagram page might need a little help. That's all I'm saying.
Jesus.
I know.
That is shots fired.
I've given people a reason to actually listen to this fucking podcast, haven't I? Just slag everyone off. That's it. Yeah. What I've done is I've actually put subliminal messages for the government. So if I tell people that I've committed actual crimes, then at least, like GCHQ or someone in the government will have to listen to this just to double check whether or not I was actually telling the truth or not. Do you know what I mean? So that's actually a really bad high stakes marketing campaign. So don't do that. There are plenty of other ways.
Murder out. So going the Bobby Schmurder
route. So basically, right, I've been watching things. I love my documentaries. I love superhero stuff. So I watched all the One Division. I watched Falcon Winter Soldier. I watched Justice League, and there's something came into my mind, right? And we've touched upon this before. We talked about the bloody hell with monsters. What's the one? Bloody hell. That's my Cockney.
The Dark Universe.
Yeah, the dark. We talked about that before. Warner Brothers attempted a thing, like a sort of more typical monster universe thing, that out of the superhero sort of, once Marvel had achieved phase 1, once they had achieved the Avengers all out logistically, then like DC, Warner Brothers started to go, right, A, we want Justice League set up, so let's get that rolling. B, we got everything's cinematic universes now, so we have to come up with more franchises to tie things together on all the, because it's really cynical. The basic premise of what I'm about to say is just kind of like where the business world is at, as well as the entertainment world. And the heart of this point I want to make is basically, because Hollywood's no longer interested in your middle of the road sort of like $30 million. Oh, we'll get Julia Roberts and Matthew McConaughey doing a rom-com. They don't do that anymore. Ensemble cast sort of mid-fair stuff. It's all tentpole blockbuster superheroes. So what Hollywood is constantly looking at is, what IP have we got? How can we exploit it? How can we make it into a universe? Yeah. Hence why they tried to do that dark, universe.
Is that completely dead?
I believe so. I haven't heard anything. I don't know. Nick, is it dead? Is it? Are they doing any of that or?
Well, there was the Invisible Man, but that was Elizabeth Moss. Escaping an abusive relationship. So yeah, it's probably dead. Even though that's a fucking great film. I don't want to disrespect the film. That film's fucking amazing. It's a great film. Love it.
Yeah.
But because that the only thing anyone remembers about that franchise is that picture where it's like everyone just lined up being like, "Yo, guys, we got the hot shit right here," and
it's like, no, you don't.
And then they just shit the bed.
Yeah.
My boy Tom Cruise.
Cruise.
He's actually my best man.
I love Tom Cruise.
I like Tom Cruise as a person.
You do not like Tom Cruise. You've been on the record saying you do not like him.
But I like. So he was on Graham Norton last week, and I like his place in the industry as like someone that's trying to hold together the film kind of thing. Because here's my point about. Let me just finish the sort of premise of today is so the industry itself isn't going with new ideas, and it never really has favoured new ideas over intellectual property anyway. That's always been the case. But now we're in a sort of a terrible time where it is, everyone's in the last 10 years running to the cape and the cowl and sort of like any celebrities had to be assigned to a superhero, blah blah blah, right? And there's a problem beyond that, right, about the universe intellectual property stuff, and it came across as a subject in Shooting Joe Exotic, the Louis Theroux documentary, sort of following up when he did a documentary of Joe Exotic, and it generally captures the massive sort of like, if something goes viral on Netflix, what that happens to the real people involved with that story and their lives and their intellectual property and them as a character versus them as a real person, right? So here's the Jason's bullshit idea for today is essentially all of Hollywood's like major players understand that IP is king, right? So they need that, hence Godzilla versus Kong and like all of these things where they go, how can we milk this for the most amount of money? Now the crux of the documentary of Shooting Joe Exotic is Joe Exotic can't get out of prison because Netflix owns basically certain intellectual property rights so that he can't speak out. His freedom of speech has been impeded in the American justice system because of how Netflix now owns the rights to the show, and so basically Louis Theroux couldn't interview Joe Exotic because Netflix completely bans them. But they didn't even know this themselves, even though they had legal representation to like go through the contracts. They didn't realize how far it would take them, and it stopped. So Joe Exotic has been campaigning on Twitter and stuff to try and stop Netflix from owning the rights, so that he then can't appeal to get him out of jail, because he was trying to get Donald Trump to like to exonerate him, to do that, to pardon him, yeah. And yeah, it just kind of posed a question in my mind. I was like, wow, how crazy has it got to? Like, that basically these people that are real people in real lives, if you sell your story to Netflix and it becomes a Netflix show, then all of the real world stuff then becomes like the plot to the fiction of the franchise that then is worth money to Netflix. So then where does the line cross between what really happened in the real world and what you can then sell it and retell it in a documentary, and then that becomes intellectual property, that becomes the content? Do you know what I mean? So that fucking blew my mind, and I was just thinking, like, that's the most messed up, like, we can create a universe of our own. Like, they've created a world beyond a world. Like, he's stuck in fucking jail, and now him making money, which, by the way, might be over $1 million for the second series, is more valuable than his life in real life. Do you know what I mean? So like, that idea just blew my mind, and that's why I'm saying universes, ain't they crazy? Justice League was alright though. There you go.
Yeah. So the Tiger King extended universe.
I thought it was a lot better than the first one.
But yeah, the Justice League Schneider cut, yeah, which Elliot was referencing to. Nick, what were you saying?
I said the Tiger King extended universe.
Yes, the Tiger King extended universe. Because I was thinking, like, basically it sets a precedent that I was wondering, like, because it's also in the, like, with the Kardashians and stuff, right? Like, when reality TV and intellectual property and all these forces come together, like, you know, I'm an entrepreneur, I understand that, and I've tried to, in certain ways, to try and do that myself, but like never cynically, never do, like, you know, I never want to like take the piss out of people, but it does sort of blur the lines between what is real and what is fiction, and what is, like, I don't know, what is acceptable to me. Like, ethically speaking, is it okay that no one probably ever will ever be able to interview Joe Exotic or anybody else because they're bound by Netflix? Do you know what I mean? Like, Netflix can literally own them based on the fact that they're now a documentary show. And I'm like, is that a documentary anymore? If then the people that produce that TV show have a say in the way those lives are played out, because then that is orchestrating a plot, isn't it? That if I can put you in jail or stop giving evidence to get you out of jail, then you are creating the circumstances, technically the premise for season 2, but Netflix is in the way of him getting out of jail, which would then stop that being the premise of it. Do you see what I mean? Like, it's a mind fuck. Someone agree with me. Thank you.
It's like a cult.
Yes.
Netflix are like a cult.
Yeah, it's when the money gets so big, I was like, wow, like, you can create these people that are so famous now. You know, you probably can't go anywhere in the world without being. I mean, obviously he's a very. I don't know if he. I mean, how does he maintain that blonde hair in prison? I mean, I'm sure they got, you know, ways of dyeing their hair in prison, but I don't know. In maximum security jail, can you still dye your hair, Nick? Yes or no?
Why are you asking me if I know what happens?
Decide now. I want you to decide for the whole of America. Should they be allowed to dye their
hair? Okay, so now you're arguing about what is a human right. You know what I mean?
No, I'm just posing a stupid question.
Yeah, I know. I was going to give a stupid answer.
And yeah, I've got a little thing to like do a ham. Yeah, done, sold. Sorry, waiting to bang something on the table there.
The court has decided.
Yeah, so that's what gave me the idea for this podcast. But beyond that, I don't really have much to say. I'm just like, isn't that crazy that Netflix can basically own people's lives? And like with the Kardashian shit, like, it's kind of like they're no longer, like, you know how like corporations have the same legal rights as people, right? Well, basically they've reversed their thing, haven't they? They've made themselves a brand let's say, and then their brand is worth so much, so then they have more rights than ordinary people, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, I remember when Kylie Jenner took Kylie Minogue to court to say that she could have become. It's like the cuff, but it's the caterpillar thing. It's the caterpillar thing, you know, with the M&S Cuthbert versus Cuthbert, Colin or Cuthbert or whoever, all the different caterpillars. I've actually had this myself. So as you guys know, I was sued by the founder of Bumble, which I still have to sign this fucking form. It's taken like 4 months. 4 months, and I've still got to sign this piece of paper because Bumble will not own Bumble everything in the world, and they've spent more money than I'll ever have in my life to own everything Bumble. But like, that's to the point where it's like, you know, it just shouldn't be the case. I'm just saying my own personal what's the word, like interaction with all of this shows me how ridiculous it actually is. It's just people with money versus people with less money. And
yeah, it generally is.
It upsets me.
People with money always win.
Yeah, so thank you, Mrs. Bumble. I'll be signing your letter. And for legal reasons, I should now be quiet. Yeah, like Justice League, the Snyderverse. So now they're saying, I suppose really with the universes thing, I should get on with a bit of that. Here's my take on the sort of MCU and the DCU or whatever it is. Justice League, quite good. It was not anywhere near as
pretty good.
Yeah, I really liked it. I do still think it was pretty clunky compared to the sort of, you know, Marvel have a formula and that formula works. What did Zack Snyder say? He said, you know, they're doing this high concept comedy drama thing, and they do it very well. But what we're trying to do is take these great mythic stories and bring them to life. And I thought, yeah, visually dazzling, quite in line with the animated stuff I've been banging on about for ages. Much more with Apocalypse. No, not Apocalypse. Fuck, what's his name? Mine's just bloody. Yeah. No. What's the bad guy's name?
I'm pretty sure it is that.
Yeah, and so
isn't Apocalypse an X-Men?
No, Dark Side.
Darkseid. Sorry,
Darkseid.
Yeah, that's it. That's the X-Men geezer, and they didn't do that one well either. Yeah. They're quite. I'm not gonna just in terms of their power levels and who they are as a big bad in their respective universes. They are similar characters in their scope. But I think both Marvel, I think I've just shot both Marvel and DC people in the face by saying that. But hey,
I don't know. I love Apocalypse, and I don't care about Darkseid at all.
But I mean, are you? Do you not agree with me then? Because I've literally
they're different. They're different. Yeah. They've got different views and different. They want different things.
Different political views.
Okay. Yeah, one's very, very right wing. And of course, Apocalypse is very left wing. So as a socialist, I will gravitate towards.
I don't think Apocalypse.
Global saturation and freedom of the market, which
is that what...
left wing. God damn it, I've messed that up as well.
Wait, I think they're both quite, bad. But
they're both baddies, obviously.
Yeah. Anyway, so I thought the DC. I think that it would be worth doing a Snyderverse, me about to say what I'm about to say makes no sense to myself as of about 3-4 years ago. But let Ben Affleck be Batman for a bit longer. Like, it was like, I didn't mind him. I was like, do you know what? Like, once the actual, studio gave up on the idea of having to have a Batman, right? Because I think it's quite interesting that they're bringing out the Batman, and we know that the Flash movie has both Ben Affleck's Batman and Michael Keaton's Batman, so we know what's going down there. We know it's the multiverse. We understand that, and so I think that gives it a creative freedom that they when they're trying to get Batman right every single time, and they had the Nolan version, and that was pretty good, and so they're constantly having to mess about with it. Whereas now, they can kind of go, well, we can have one, and they're a bit out there like this, and they're out there. Do you know what I mean? Like, they can kind of ease it up a little bit if they can have, maybe there's not just having to be the Batman all at once. But I don't know what you guys think about that.
I am looking forward to the Batman though, because I think Robert Pattinson.
Oh yeah, so am I.
He's gonna be a bad boy.
Yeah, that trailer, like, I really like the tone of it. I really like the moody grunginess of it, and yeah, I thought it was really cool. But I do think it like eases the pain, let's say, to sort of like go a bit wacky with it and allow them to sort of play with it a bit more. But I think maybe Ben Affleck's done and he'll be off anyway, so who knows?
He's off doing other things, isn't he?
Yeah.
And also, it didn't seem like he enjoyed being, because there's the whole Sam Affleck thing.
Yeah. The "Hello Darkness, my old friend" bit, where it's just that was sad, but I don't know. So the other thing I wanted to discuss was the Marvel Cinematic Universe, WandaVision, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because I'm a bit underwhelmed by the TV shows, and what I'm going to say about them is quite controversial. So,
I completely agree.
Oh, you agree? Oh, fuck that! I thought you were going to vilify me.
Although WandaVision I really enjoyed, but then the ending was quite dead.
Yep.
Falcon and Winter Soldier. It was okay.
Yeah.
I got by.
Right, so spoiler alert.
I liked the Winter Soldier and Falcon.
I feel like they forced a lot of things as well.
Yeah.
Also, actually no, I'll leave this for later. Go on. Please.
Yeah. Hang on. So spoiler alert if anyone's listening and wants to watch these shows that haven't seen them yet. I mean, if you haven't been watching them as they're coming out and being in it, you're probably not a real fan anyway. So fuck you. But yeah. So WandaVision annoyed me thematically because obviously the 1950s, 60s shit just annoyed me. I didn't start watching it until episode 3. I got my girlfriend to tell me what happened in the first 2 episodes. I went, yeah, there's like basically not being funny, right? But if these were films, right, then it would be shit because they would have dealt with the storyline in about 5 minutes. They would have had a shot of what's her face looking sad about Vision being dead, and maybe like some kind of like sequence where Vision's alive and all of the kind of iconography of the timeline thing, and then they would have got on with it, and then she basically would have gone into a mad state where she's godlike and be done with it. Likewise, I put on Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
We've already disagreed on this.
Okay.
The 50s and 60s bit is the best part of that show.
Oh, well, there you go.
One of the best parts.
One of the best parts. But that's the bit I really liked. That the entire
I thought it was so good because
the moment it stopped just being
teased us.
The moment it stopped being a 50s thing is kind of started
being rubbish. Yeah. It's just that I kind of I don't dislike it ostensibly for what it is. I dislike it because the heart of what I'm trying to say is I feel like Marvel's quite cynical in the way that it's revealed. I feel like it doesn't ever try and push the boundaries in a way that takes its audience intelligently. I feel like it's always the lowest common denominator, and they're sort of a cynical product push, which it is. so like it just is that, and I kind of feel that, and I'm like, for instance, like, so the point I had with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I was like, is this just going to be an entire series where Falcon has to accept that he basically is Captain America?
Yeah. And
then like I thought, no, it's going to go a different direction, because obviously like when you watch it, it does go a different direction briefly, and then you're like, oh. And then no, I was completely right. And I was like, oh, okay. And I don't know. It was good, and obviously, it does. I don't want to make it feel like its point of the racial justice stuff at the end of the series. Yeah, it feels like the right time, but it does feel a little bit not forced. I can't describe it. Not forced, but like, as much as it's an authentic thing to do now, it also feels convenient that it's kind of like it's okay for them to do now, And I was just like, I don't know how it really sat with me. Like I say, I just feel like it's little bit cynical in the way that I feel like I'm being sold something rather than told a story. That's how I suppose I feel about it. But I liked most of the characters in Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm happy with Captain America. I'm happy with the characters. I just feel like the series themselves are not there for the series. They're there to benefit the main characters of those series, and the series obviously won't exist in a couple of years because they'll move on into the next arc or phase of Avengers or of the MCU.
They're basically there to build up.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like it's there to build something else up rather than building its own thing. You know, it's like we know that it's like, so Marvel can't make much money out of films right now, so they're telling these like sort of second-rate stories that we wouldn't pay to see in cinemas, but is getting them content for Disney Plus. And I'm like, is it as good as like say The Mandalorian?
It's not The Mandalorian.
Yeah,
is it?
No. So,
but although that isn't really leading on to a big franchise film, that's just a whole thing in itself.
Well, yeah, I think at the end of the day, like to compare. Like to get back to the heart of the topic today about building a universe and building a thing. What is better at the end of the day? It's both Disney. With Star Wars, they built The Mandalorian, obviously with Gina bowing out because of her fucking that's it, racist bitch. She's no longer getting her own show and doing all that, which they had plans. Well, they still are doing the 4 other spin-offs, aren't they? But it's they're building it out in a way that seems more authentic because those stories hold up on their own. Whereas I feel like the MCU is getting built out, and these are only kind of stepping stones to a bigger product, let's say.
Yeah, it's leading up to the new Avengers film.
Yeah, and I mean, I kind of got a bit annoyed that he didn't get any powers. Like, is it okay, or does it make him better as Captain America that he doesn't have any powers at all? Do you know what I mean? Like, I
think he'll get fucking spun by so many different.
Well, that's the other problem. Yeah, I was like,
he'll get his head spun.
Yeah, I was like, I appreciate that he can fly and he's got the drones and he's got a bit of Iron Man tech on him, yeah. But like, I don't know, is it gonna be okay? Like, he couldn't wield Thor's hammer. You know, like, and I'm like, where are the power? The MCU has a broader problem with like power levels. It's like I don't know who's got what, who's strong. I mean, GSP being in
that was quite cool though.
That was quite cool.
Him again. I fucking love GSP.
So did I. The other thing I liked was just GSP speaking French to 2 people that don't speak French, as if that's going to make you seem more sophisticated. I was like, if they don't speak French, just because you're like speaking French to like get the upper hand on someone, like literally no one knows what the fuck you're saying. It's only cool to you or cool to us because we can read the subtitles. I was like, really, that makes no sense. That's what I'm going to start doing to people. Au revoir. What, mate? Like, do you know what I mean? I'm just going to start saying, like, when's your birthday, mate? Mein Geburtstag ist, like, what? What? You're not better than me because you're speaking another language, which is exactly why I voted for Brexit. I'm only joking. I didn't vote for Brexit. Yeah, hashtag. So that's my beef with it. There's sort of some stuff about different universes getting put together for different reasons. Someone else have an opinion, please.
I enjoyed the part when the Wakandians were in it.
Yeah,
fucked everyone.
Love that.
Yeah, this is sick.
Yeah,
and episode 5 was probably the best episode.
Oh, he's quoting episodes. I ain't got a list here, mate.
Yeah, but I just think it was all just too forced for me.
Yeah.
Just like throwing things in my face, and I'm like, yeah. Yeah,
it was okay. I'd give it a 6 out of 10. I was happy with it. I like the purple hooded German geezer, the Nazi geezer with the furry coat. But I think I just liked him because he had that furry collar, and
Yeah, I liked his dance moves.
Yeah, and I just like, I like pop. The collars pop. The collars pop in this series, and if there's one thing you know about me, lads, I like popping my collar. So,
Popping your collar.
Yeah, that's just me. I just always pop in the collar, and they do that a lot in this. They're always all with a slanty, crazy fucking collars out here. Real fur. Well, it looks like real fur. It looks like leopard fur. And that I'll always have time for. If you're gonna have smart jackets, I will watch it. Which reminds me,
he's getting a new film though.
Who is?
Sam as Captain
America. Is he? Well, he's getting his own standalone one.
Yeah.
Oh,
so I'm excited to see that.
That'll be good, right? And then they can, as long as they can, because that's what I didn't like, right? The forcedness of it is the Marvel thing is, the sort of Spider-Man test when they're on the bridge and he saves the police officer, he saves the police officers out of the helicopter. And then all the people get their phones out. And then there's that one really lame line where he goes, "Oh, is that the new Falcon?" And he goes, "That's not Falcon. That's clearly Captain America." And it's like, how do you get to... It doesn't matter. Like, the names. You're in a stupid costume. Like, I will fucking go outside in some Lycra and save some kid from falling over, and then people just get their phones out and they'll go, "Oh, that's Jason's new wacky fucking Lycra suit," and some guy will come along, put his hand on their shoulder and go, "No, it ain't. That's Captain Britain." Do you know what I mean? Like as if believing in it's in itself makes it a thing. And I was just like, what? Like, don't treat me like I'm 5. I need validation as to why he's Captain America. And that wasn't enough. And I would just get in your phone and go, "That's not Falcon, that's Captain America." I was like, fuck me. Like, is it Captain America now?
Yeah, I feel like that was a moment for the kids.
Yeah.
I feel like the kids would really enjoy that part.
And that's the only reason why I felt it was cynical. That I totally felt that too. So, but I am happy for him, and I think it'll be quite good if they do it a bit more and there's a bit more budget, and he fucking messes some people up, because GSP spins around, he does like a couple of swooping kicks, and he does a couple of swooping kicks, and then he boots him he uses his Falcon blaster, right? And another thing about intellectual property, I bet both of you a tenner each that Marvel has copyrighted the booster sounds, the Iron Man thing, right, when he blasts off, because that sound is a specific high pitched sound, and I bet you they own the rights to it. I bet you can't go and make a movie and you can't have that booster sound. They'll fucking sue you for it. And he does that, and then he goes, "Gotta go," and he blows out the window. So I was like, the point to me at the end of the series was, like, obviously apart from, like, I had a problem with the main bad guy because she is from Birmingham, and that threw me off. that threw me off. I was like, why is she from Birmingham? She's clearly quite posh. Like, she's a middle class British person who's like from Birmingham, running an international terrorist / freedom fighter movement. I was like, where did you go from Birmingham to like mid Europe? Do you know what I mean? Like in Germany or wherever they are. I'm like, her life, like she's clearly like 17. Like, no, like give me a better back. Like make GSP the bad guy, and then to be Captain America, he had to have a fucking row with GSP, where GSP's throwing all of his mad kicks, chatting shit to him in French, and he goes, "You can't speak to me in Le French. I'm Captain America," and then fucks him up. Boots him out the fucking window. Everybody sees it. He flies down. He grabs GSP. He holds him down. He chucks him to the cops, and he goes, "I'm the new Captain America," and fucks off. That's what should have happened at the end of it. And then we all would have gone, "Yeah, geezer. He can fuck GSP up. Therefore,
he didn't even beat GSP in a fight.
No, he just fucked off out the window.
How's he gonna beat someone like Doctor Strange if they fucking come down to Earth?
Exactly.
Fucking gets his wings out, and they're like, "Well, I'm just gonna fucking throw you in a different dimension." Mate.
Yeah, and I saw a meme where it was in Endgame. Doesn't Spider-Man just fuck up Winter Soldier and Falcon like 2 seconds, and he just ties them up? I'm pretty sure that I've seen the meme, and I can't remember the bit in the film, but I'm pretty sure he does. Anyway, all I'm saying is, not against Sam being Captain America at all. I'm just saying I think Marvel still has a bit of proving ground to get to the point where he is the bona fide Captain America, because the finale just didn't have enough. It was a bit. I mean, it was a bit dead, and it just didn't have a great action sequence to end the series. That's what it had a problem with. The bit with the helicopter and flying your drone out and then getting in the water, like, that's not enough. Do you know what I mean? That's like a flying sequence. That's not a fight sequence. And I think that's what they messed up, is they did that bit and, you know, saved the guys, put them on the bridge, everybody claps. He has this Captain America speech, and then they were like, "Bosh, we've done it." But to me, I was like, nah, we need to see like that skyscraper at the top bit fighting him where he proves it and he can kick ass. But I reckon maybe in the Captain America film he might be alright, but then I think they're going to have to super serum him up to be Captain America long term.
Yeah, I think they might have to.
Yeah, because their whole point is like, oh, the serum just makes you more of who you are. And so obviously it's not about like the serum or how powerful you are. It's about your heart as Captain America. It's about what you represent and how you can, your morals and your values and your principles and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, all right, he's the guy. He proves he's the guy time and again. He's sorted, but
just give him some super.
Give him some fucking super serum now, please.
If Thanos comes down again,
exactly.
He's the only one there. Thanos is just snapping him.
He'll be snapping his fingers like he's bopping along to a little jazz tune.
As someone who's missed the last 5 minutes because my connection kept on dying, I think it's good he didn't choose the serum.
Oh, right. You haven't even seen the series, have you? Or have you?
What? Well, Falcon Winter Soldier?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've watched that. Yeah.
Oh, right, cool. Okay.
I have strong opinions on it.
Do you?
A. Go on, Nick. GSP is underused. He's a fucking
He is.
don.
100%.
Agree.
B. I thought Wyatt Russell was going to be a villain. Now he's a hero.
Wyatt Russell?
Kind of confused me.
Who's Wyatt Russell?
US agent.
The collar guy. Oh, US agent.
Yeah.
Oh, John Walker. What, John Walker?
Yeah, I don't know his character's name. I thought they were building him up to be the villain in the last episode. Now he's a hero.
So did I.
That's kind of confusing.
No, because there's that Val woman, isn't there? We are. Oh, sorry.
Louise, the chick from Seinfeld.
Yes, her.
Yeah, but I thought he was going to be a villain in the last episode because.
No, I think he's going to be a villain going forward.
Yeah, well, US agent's a hero, isn't he? He's an
I don't know. Hero. Right. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
But I thought they were building him up to be at the end. The final villain would be him.
Yeah.
Because they saw him building his homemade shield, and now he's he's a hero. They didn't really explain till the very last episode who the main villain of the season was.
Yeah, exactly.
And
like,
okay, it's the Shield Breakers or Stone Thrashers. Whatever they're called.
Yeah, that
Flag
was. I don't know. Yeah, that's it.
That's
and one people. I just it just didn't really they didn't have a real central bad guy. Like they could have made GSP the bad guy, Nazi guy could have flipped. Like you say, John Walker character.
Who's the Nazi guy? Zemo.
Yeah.
Was he a Nazi? No, he's
what
not
is
a
he?
Nazi. He's
a Hydra guy, but then
he's
was
not Hydra. He's in the comics. He's Hydra, but he's not Hydra in the show.
Oh, okay.
He's not Hydra. Because in the film, in Civil War, he was never Hydra.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I just presumed that he was, and so I've made up my own backstory for him.
No,
but I thought we were going to see more of him.
He's going to be back because he wiped out all the fucking flag smashers.
Yeah. Okay, well, I look forward to that then.
Hey.
I reckon there will be a season 2 of it before Sam gets his Captain America film. That would make sense to me, that it felt unresolved. It felt like that's partly why. Like maybe a season 2 will make it better if they can sort of flesh those things out, but just felt like a bit of a, it feels like a bit of a stumbling block where they're just going, we need some kind of bad guy that's not a real bad guy, so then there's real people. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't like that. I'm like, give me a Thanos every time.
Oh, 100%.
And then fine. And then because otherwise you can't create the hero without a decent villain. You can't. It doesn't validate. I don't like we were saying while you were off air, Nick. Is is because there wasn't a big fight sequence for GSP at the end. You know, like Captain America, he's not fully Captain America yet because we need to see him like actually have a row with someone properly, do the job, and then we go, yeah, all right then, mate. You can have the best intentions in the world, but if you ain't got 2 tickets to the gun show, you ain't selling me on it. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah.
What was your other opinion on it, Nick?
I'm honest, can't really remember what my other opinion was. Oh, I know what my opinion was. It was it got to episode 5, and I thought, sweet, it's gearing up. It's middle of the season. Episode 6 came. Season's finished. Kind of felt they were building longer for that.
Yeah.
Kind of felt like it could have done a bit more build up, personally.
Yeah, it could have had a bit more to it.
I did still like it, but I kind of thought I was looking at a 10 episode season, not a 6.
Yeah. Interesting.
Because they didn't really build up to a concrete villain. Everyone was kind of okay.
Yeah, it was all.
Might bring it back with the Loki series.
Yeah.
Oh mate, I think the Loki one's going to be the best out of all of them by far. I mean, just for the trailer, you know, just to have wow. Owen Wilson. That's my Owen Wilson impression, by the way. Yeah, that's very good. And yeah, you know, I think that'll tie everything together. I think that's the key cinematic. I mean, obviously Tom Hiddleston's probably the biggest star. Is he bigger than what's his face? He's probably the biggest star to be doing this telly sort of level stuff. Do you know what I mean? So I think
I'd say Elizabeth Olsen is pretty equal in terms.
Yeah, okay, yeah, all right, fair enough. And I just think like that will tie everything together and give us the storyline with what is it? It's the Doctor Strange thing. Mate, think about what is it called?
Mouth of Madness. Multiverse of Madness.
That is Multiverse of Madness. So that's going to be where I think the Val character and the Witch character from WandaVision are all going to tie this in to the next phase of the story. But I've got an interesting take, right? I don't know what you guys think. So last night I was sort of having one of those evenings after I've had one of those big binge-watchy documentary series like, you know, when you got a real meaty show like Wild Wild Country, I'm watching like 3-4 episodes a night. I'm fucking loving it. But after 3 nights, you're done. You've binged it all. You've got nothing. You're hungry. You're searching. And then you might like sort of do what I call like a little picky buffet thing. You know, a little cheese and crackers couple of days of streaming where you haven't found your next show yet. So you watch a bit of this and a bit of that, but you surface watching far less more sort of in depth than when you're like really just absorbing a show that you're like, yeah, fucking sock it to me, bitch. And so I started watching. I was watching a few bits and bobs on iPlayer and a bit of sport, bit of this, catching up with a couple of like news, like current affairs things. And then I was like, oh come on, like it's Saturday night, like watch something good on a Saturday night. It was about midnight, and I was still quite awake. So I tried to watch, and I love Jessica Chastain, right? And I think all the people in the X-Men franchise that they've booted out over the last few years, and to just fucking send it nowhere. Like, the amount of money they must have been paying these fucking actors alone. Like, there's everybody that's supposed to be half decent in these fucking films, and they make no sense. There's scenes with
what
Mystique.
film is this?
Sorry, I didn't say that. The Dark Phoenix, the latest X-Men one that came out.
Those films are fucking trash. Those films are trash.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, but I mean, I tried to watch Apocalypse, and that's dire. And I just thought, how much money do these people have where they've kept the same cast, kept the same, like, continuation of storyline? They cut so many things, like Disney and Marvel and Netflix have over, like, you know, that are so good, and they don't give you any fucking explanation. And then to continue something and paying these people, I mean, Jennifer Lawrence, you could hire a fucking team of 100 people just based on Jennifer Lawrence's salary alone. Like she must have been paid like fucking $15 million to do this film, and she's not even the main character. Like, and there's scenes. I've only got about 40 minutes in, and I know I'm going on a tangent and a rant, but I don't give a fuck because I really want to know what you think about if they've taken the time to develop like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but they have fucked X-Men into the ground. They have fucked it into the ground.
Does Disney own X-Men?
It does now.
It does now. It didn't at that point.
Yeah, it was 50-50, wasn't it? So they've done a deal a bit like with Spider-Man. I know Spider-Man's the most contentious issue because Sony still own the rights to that, but I don't know if Sony were the ones that owned the rights to X-Men as well. I know Logan's not on the
because I don't think they did, because that's the reason they've never mentioned X-Men in the Marvel films is because they don't own it.
It's a
yeah.
deal.
I know.
I don't think you can blame Disney for them.
No, I'm not blaming them. I'm just saying there's different publishing rights and different intellectual property rights that I understand they've done deals on, right? So there's a reason why they bought them so that they can then stream them on Disney Plus. And I believe that going forward, there's about to be a deal being done so that they bring basically Spider-Man's gonna be they tried the New Mutants thing. I haven't even watched that, but the long-term strategy is of to bring these people into it, to bring the X-Men into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But I just think they have fucked it up so much. Like, just on a basic level, yeah, Beast and Mystique. So Jennifer Lawrence and the British guy, Nicholas, what's his face? Nicholas Hoult, that's it.
What a geezer.
Yeah, and so they're both blue monster people, yeah, in real life, right? So not as in the actors, but as in their characters are both blue mutants, yeah. They're Beast and Mystique respectively, and there are a whole six. I know that was extremely very pedantic. Thank you, Nick. Thank you. There are whole scenes where they're hanging out in the lab in the X-Men. Oh shit, I used to know what that's called. What's the X-Men hall called? The X-Men
children, school. School for talented children or something like that.
Oh yeah, it's the school for something. Yeah, anyway. So they're in the lab in the school, right? And it's just them two behind closed doors, and both of them are using their technology to shield their true appearance. But I was like, no. If Mystique and Beast are hanging out together, talking to each other behind closed doors in the mutant headquarters, you would not use your cloaking technology because no one's fucking looking at you, are they? Like, just basic story, like just basic writing, like just really.
They saved money.
I know that, but
it's a budget thing. Also, I don't think it's technology because at that point, Beast has he's got medicine, doesn't he? That suppresses his mutation, and she can just look how she wants. I don't think it's a technology. I think. All
right, but I was just thinking to myself on a basic. I was like, shouldn't they just be? I was just no, it's bollocks, right? I'm gonna
have to go and watch it now.
It's so crap I couldn't keep watching it, and I really like Jessica Chastain, but it's just
that and Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I mean, anyway, that's rubbish. I wonder what will happen with X-Men being merged into things. I mean, I was saying the other day, I think bollocks. I mean, well,
there's only one good film in that entire franchise, and that's First Class.
Yeah. True.
The rest of them are pretty.
I thought I like the first X-Men.
But they're film. That's a completely different sort of well, no, it isn't. Actually.
Oh, that's a different one from that. Yeah, you're talking Fassbender and
Fassbender. Yeah. I'm saying, but the only good of that, I know they do reference that because Patrick Stewart and fucking Magneto are the same guys in Days of Future Past.
Yes.
But
but that was their crossover, wasn't it? Yeah.
But in terms of First Class to Dark Phoenix, the only good one is First Class. First Class is great. But
it's a good film.
That is that Apocalypse is the main one of the main antagonists of X-Men, and they kill him.
And they fucked him up.
First mission.
Yeah.
First mission, all rookies, and they kill Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Who thought of that?
And I was like, no. Yeah, that they completely mess with again power levels issue. Don't introduce if you're gonna do a Darkseid or an Apocalypse or who's the one that's attached to Silver Surfer that's in the Silver Surfer film. He's like Galactus, yeah. So Galactus. So all of those that in the respective universes are the big bad. They're equal to Thanos, I'd say, in terms of who they're supposed to be and how powerful they're meant to be. I mean, Galactus is literally some like a mid galaxy.
He eats planets and shit.
Exactly, yeah. So, Darkseid controls Apocalypse. No, the reason why, right, we're getting confused is because there is an Apocalypse in the DC universe, but it is the planet that Darkseid has, and the planet itself is like a spaceship. He's basically like it's his home world that absorbs the other worlds, and that's why he's so bad. That's to paraphrase his entire thing, but for the sake of this podcast, that's what they do. And and they did that quite well with Justice League. I think they should have not introduced him given as much Darkseid as they did, and built it up over a few more films. Just like to not know, like the unknowable nature of a villain makes them more scary. But in general, did it quite well. With X-Men, they fucked that up. And I just wonder, you're right, Nick. They will just ignore it all, and they'll bleed it in when they do the intellectual property rights. Totally, 100%. But I've got a theory, right? Here's my call right now, because I am saying, and I've double checked this on the internet, and apparently he's the favourite. But I've just instantly off the top of my head discussing it with my girlfriend. She's like, I wonder who the next Wolverine will be. I was just thinking, in terms of square jaw and the sort of the bankability of them, I think it'll be Taron Egerton. I think Taron Egerton will be the new Wolverine. Yeah. What do you reckon?
That's a reach.
Yeah. Because no. I bet you it is. I bet both of you. I bet you actually a fiver each. That is Taron Egerton.
I'm going to say no to that purely because I don't really care who they cast as Wolverine.
Who else could do it? I mean, I think Zac Efron would be quite good in about 15 years if he stayed ripped and got a bit hairier. But maybe not. Maybe he's too pretty, boy. Elliot doesn't like that.
The guy from Boys would be quite good.
I'm trying to think. Which one?
Fucking guy would be.
I don't think you can do if you've been in The Boys though. If you've been in a satire.
Oh, do you mean Frenchie?
No, not Frenchie.
Oh.
I think if you've been in a
Bill Butcher.
Oh,
okay.
Carl Urban.
Oh right, that guy. No, he's too old. He's too old
he's
now.
Younger than Hugh Jackman. I think Hugh Jackman's quite old. I think he's older.
Oh yeah, but Hugh Jackman's retired. That's my point.
But Carl Urban isn't.
Yeah, but I think but come on, be serious. Like
That's my serious.
No, but Disney will want a young Wolverine now, won't they? So they can get 25 years. Yeah. So they can get 25 years worth of films out of him. That's what they'll do. Just to be total cynical and say it's all about the product here. Not, is Marvel going to make that decision purely based on artistic endeavour? I think they'll get a geezer that looks like him that's about 30 odd that they can rinse for 20 odd years and away we go.
Yes.
So you want a black Wolverine? I
want a black
Wolverine. No, advertise it as the first English Wolverine. And they won't reference anything else. They won't mention anything else about him.
That would be. I'd like that. That would be refreshing.
For the first time, an X-Men is English.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair.
Is there a black?
And none of the. I mean, if. What do you mean?
I think so.
That's a good point.
Oh, Storm, obviously.
Yeah, Storm is black. Yeah, but it is quite white. I mean, it is. Yeah. I don't know. They do need to sort that out. I wouldn't be averse to it, but also Wolverine in the comics is supposed to be 5 foot tall. What? Oh, thanks, Nick. Yeah, no, it's good to admit that you're not a total racist. Thank you. That's the level of intolerance I'm working with here. Yeah, thanks. No, I'm joking. But so Wolverine's actually 5'3" in the comics. He's meant to be tiny. He's meant to be a little jackal man, isn't he? So if anyone's going to be Wolverine here, it should be me. I'm a tiny, as a tiny little man with loads of anger, I'd be great. Nah, I'm joking. I don't really have any calls for or takes on it, apart from Taron Egerton probably being Wolverine. I think they will blend somehow. I haven't seen that New Mutants film either with the other Game of Thrones girl. What's her name? Maisie Williams. Yeah, that was another attempt, weren't it, at launching?
I've heard that's pretty terrible.
I've heard that shit as well. Yeah. So they fucked that all up.
Anya Taylor-Joy. Shout out to Anya Taylor-Joy.
I love watching shit films.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But I mean, got any takes? Got any want to sees? Got any things that you'd like? I mean, obviously, apart from Black Wolverine, just everyone in X-Men being black, that'd be great. And then it would probably make it better. To be fair, Professor X would be cooler, wouldn't he?
But are you motherfuckers?
Yeah. Oh,
Professor
I can't say that.
X.
Yeah. Oh wow! Oh, that would.
Copyright.
Oh, someone write that right now. That would actually be amazing. Like that's actually the best idea you've ever come up with, Nick, on the podcast. So
thank you.
Well done. That fits really well.
There's a sound effects guy when you need.
I know. It's the
air horn.
Okay, that's a sick idea. That would be really cool. I don't know. They're kind of doing the thing that I wanted them to do with DC, and they've opened it up, and I think that'll be quite good. I don't really know. It'll be interesting to see how they develop, whether or not they stick with doing TV shows and films when cinemas get back to normal, and how they're going to deal with that. Because I think Star Wars, Mandalorian, and stuff, they've done the best in terms of your TV to film value for money, if you like. Yeah, I went and saw the Star Wars films, and they were shit, and they felt like a cheap shut up and give me your money. Whereas the Mandalorian, as a TV show, was just good, and as a streaming platform, I went, right, I accept this. Whereas if it all goes the way that the Marvel shows have, I'm gonna be like, right, will you? It's a bit of FOMO. I'm like, is this where the party is? Because it doesn't feel to me like this is where the party is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, I just noticed there was silence. I was like, I've got to break this.
It's silence. Okay. Nobody has to agree with me. It's I don't know, Nick. You're not really into much of this, to be honest. But I mean, universes. If you could have one cinematic universe, rip the fuck out of, do as many as they want, what would it be?
See, that's a problem because I feel like I'm, in terms of comic books and all that stuff, I tend to gravitate towards the lesser known characters.
Yeah, and just hang on, I want to rebut you before you continue. Just to say, it doesn't have to be comic book. I mean, I would say Jordan Peele is sort of building a cinematic horror universe. I mean, or not a universe, but like he's said that these things like kind of tie into each other. Some of his films, don't they? So I don't know. Maybe in that guise, or even like with the Dark Universe stuff. I have a take, right? The one thing I want to see, to give you a flavour of what I mean, is just stories that haven't developed as much as they could have. Like I'm a big sort of satire fan, and one of the things that I didn't understand that hasn't translated yet on screen is I got into a Wikipedia hole the other day over 2000 AD in Judge Dredd. And reading the sort of satire and the tone of Judge Dredd and how interesting some of the stories are as well, the whole politics and logistics and the infrastructure of like the mega cities and the nuclear fallout and just all that. There's continuous comic books from the early 70s on this. Like to buy the volumes are so expensive, but I think why the fuck hasn't someone made that in a high budget TV show? I don't understand, because to me, when I feel like we've gone backwards a little bit really from what we were doing a couple of years ago with Game of Thrones. Like logistically, we've got a great vehicle there. Go and copy that up until season 5 and just don't fuck it into the ground like you did at the end. You've got the source material there from 2000 AD, so I think that one serious comic book stuff with a bit of satirical, something to say, along with like similarly to how they did the Watchmen TV show. I don't know. Is that not getting rebooted for any more series? The Watchmen TV stuff.
No, I think it's a limited series.
Jesus Christ! See what are they doing? So yeah, so that's my shout. Is Judge Dredd? Has anyone got any other shouts?
I have two.
Go on.
One that's already being done, which I'm so excited about, is the Lord of the Rings series.
Yeah, I was going to mention this as well.
I'm excited for it.
It's the most expensive TV series of all time.
The budget is a joke.
It's insane. It's something. Isn't it nearly $300 million? It's something like 280.
Or yeah, 200 mil an episode.
Yeah. Hang on, let me look. Lord of the Rings.
Who's the director? Who's in charge of it all? Is it going to be Jackson? Or?
It's not Peter Jackson.
No, it's not.
It is $465 million. Jesus Christ, for season 1. It's not Peter Jackson.
It's Patrick McKay, I think.
Okay. Crazy money. That is going to be so expensive.
I've never heard of this man.
I have, but I don't know. I haven't got active knowledge on him, I'm afraid. But I know that it's... Well, I mean... Is it just going to be... Because it's meant to be... Jesus Christ. It'll be interesting to see if it's any good, let's put it that way. Because, I mean, the films are already really quite good anyway. I'm like, how much Lord of the Rings do we need?
It's got so much potential.
Yeah. I hope so.
That budget anyway.
Well, yeah, fuck it. Hey, you're going to be bankrolling New Zealand until the end of time. Another thing I saw was the Furiosa prequel. That's going to be shot in Australia, and that's the most expensive film to be shot in Australia ever. That looks quite interesting. Which I hope, obviously, if stuff for Mad Max goes, then someone will go, hang on, we could get Judge Dredd going here. Which I would quite like to see. So that's my take: is let all the Mad Max stuff go well, and then get me some.
I want to see more John Wick stuff as well.
Well, yeah, fucking. I
don't like John Wick anymore.
Oh, Nick,
you don't like John Wick anymore, Nick?
No, I've
Why?
got a lot of opinions about it. It's not becoming a. I like the first John Wick because it's kind of like not realistic because he's doing like gun fu.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like, it's kind of sensible. And then by the end of it, it's like there's an international cabal of assassins and everyone's an assassin and the homeless people are also involved. And it kind of became... It became a parody of itself. And I still like it. I do still enjoy it. But it stopped being the film I loved. I loved the first one. And by the second one, I was like, okay, it's still pretty good. And by the third one... If you want to meet the guy in charge, you have to wander the desert until you're dying, and then he'll find you. Also...
But he does, though!
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It becomes ridiculous.
Yeah!
Some of it's a bit too much.
And that isn't... I don't like...
The whole concept.
Yeah.
I liked it when it was pretty low concept.
I think the third one's the best one. Nah.
The third one is the one I like the least, easily.
I mean, the attack dogs thing, that annoys me.
Oh, no, like, in terms of, like actual action, it gets better and better. But the story, for me, gets worse and worse as it goes on.
Okay.
Because by the third film, there are ninjas. And I'm like,
fine.
okay, you're kind of losing me on this.
Yeah. Well, I like ninjas. I'm sympathetic to the ninja cause, as you all know.
Everyone loves ninjas. But by the third film, there's guys with, like, bulletproof suits.
Yeah.
And like it becomes weird. I don't know why I like when things get weird.
I saw a meme that said John Wick is just the dark timeline for Bill and Ted, and as I was, oh, poor old him. But it's watch it with that in mind. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that way it's super fun. There's going to be a John Wick 4, isn't there? Along with the Matrix 4. Yeah. I'm looking forward to Matrix 4. I hope there's a bit more of Matrix. I think the Matrix is one of the biggest franchises in the last 20 years to not get overdone. It's actually it's probably better that it's only had
you say
two average
Matrix
films.
Didn't get overdone. Did you not see the second and third film?
I did. I'm a fan of the second and third film.
I know.
I take that very personally.
It's
It's close to my heart, Nick. I fucking love The Matrix.
I respect that.
I love it.
I didn't love it as much as you.
Right, fine. I'm just saying, it's the most it's one of the most intelligent ideas out of Hollywood that they could. We could be getting we could get a TV show out of that. We could get, I don't know. I could see it having some legs, but maybe it's not the greatest thing.
Oh, ever. Can I just real quick, because you were talking about Judge Dredd.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like the main problem with a Judge Dredd ever getting made properly is the first one was a bad film with Stallone, generally a bad film, and the second one with Carl Urban. I fucking love that film. I don't know about you guys. I'm assuming you like it as well.
Yeah, I like it, yeah.
That film was amazing. It made, no money. If you look up the results, box office, it made, maybe a fifth of its entire budget. And second, Elliot, you had two things you were going to talk about. What was the second one?
It was Lord of the Rings and John Wick.
Oh, was it John Wick? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because I realised we just kind of went off and I was like, what's Elliot's second thing?
Yeah, but I mean, just reading about the 2000 AD stuff, and the only reason why I rewatched watched the Dredd, the Carl Urban one, is because there was an article about saying it's actually really underrated, and then and then I rewatched it and it's really good, and then I read about all the 2000 AD storylines, and I just thought, okay, Judge Dredd as a character, you couldn't make it a vehicle for a likable celebrity. That's not the point of it. But when Game of Thrones was really good, was when it was actually about the character arcs and about the story, not about, for instance, let's take the satire of Judge Dredd and have this bleak world into the future. Instead, let's just make this a vehicle for Sylvester Stallone. You can't Rocky Sylvester Stallone. Do you know what I mean? You can't Rocky Judge Dredd. That's not the point of Judge Dredd. And it totally was. You've explained this to me, and me going back reading about it and going, oh yeah, of course. You can't be oh, good old Sylvester Stallone. He'll save the day.
I say Judge Dredd is quite unique in most comic book franchises. Within the first one or two films, they will make the villain a very recognizable character. The early Batman, it was Joker, very centric. They made Apocalypse pretty early on in the X-Men.
Yeah, I think that's the point of a lot of the universes.
Justice League, they bring Darkseid very early on. And I'd say the most recognizable Judge Dredd villain is probably Judge Death. And they've not even mentioned him in those. They've had two films and they've not even touched that, which I think is quite strange, because he's probably it's not a particularly recognizable franchise, but the most recognizable villain they haven't talked about at all.
No, that's quite true. It's I mean, from reading what I read about it, it's very, very complicated, and to try and explain those kind of villains on, he's an interdimensional alien that's. It's fucking complicated, man. How can they wrap that up in the? Whereas if they make him his clone brother,
just, throw in this is his evil rival called Death, and he's evil. They did with everything. They just throw him in and be that just. It's every other lot of things. It's he's not really relevant, but just throw him in. It's with Fantastic Four. They kind of made a budget Doctor Doom.
Yeah, that's true. But they got the guy from Nip Tuck. He was rubbish.
Yeah, and
he was
I knew from Charmed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was Kane and Charmed.
Wow. Okay. And for that reason, they didn't do. I mean, they're bringing Fantastic Four back as well, so that'd be interesting to see how they get on with that.
I'm excited to see what they do with that.
I hope they do well with it.
Fantastic Four and where to find them.
I do think you're right about in trying to establish either too much of an obscure bad guy where they're just going to be brushed aside for the main thing, or they introduce it too quickly. I feel like the cinematic universes have a problem that they basically need to learn from fine dining. It's they need to have a starter, they need to have a main course, and they need to have a dessert, and they've kind of just forgotten that. So they try and feed you the main course for either starter or dessert, and it ain't when I'm ready to eat it. Do you know what I mean? That's a really shit analogy, but it's just as shit as the writing of some of these bad guys. So can we please just sort of do it properly? That's what I want. Yeah, universes. I don't know. Has anybody got any more universe stuff?
I've got it's not quite a universe.
Go on.
But it could be pretty special.
Is it a galaxy bar and you're just eating chocolate? Is that?
No. It's this.
It's my confectionery joke.
It's this new short film that's.
Oh yes.
Is it about a certain location?
It's about a love story set in Camden.
Yes. Sorry to our audience at home. Elliot is a professional actor.
I was going to say, Jay, he was lollipopping that over the base, and you were just like not hitting it.
I know. Elliot, please, can you tell our audience a little bit about the short film that you're starring in lately? Can you tell us all about it?
I can. So, a love story set in Camden is basically the new Notting Hill. It's a British rom-com.
Can you explain it to me? Can you explain the story to me in 6 words?
Beautiful. That's it.
Oh god damn it, I counted the amount of words in the title.
A love story set in Camden.
I'm sorry, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so we're currently crowdfunding so we can get it made to the best that we can. And we'll be sending it to BAFTA when it's all said and done. And that's exciting.
Yeah, and so you are starring in it. Can you give us a brief outline? Like, what are we expecting from this film?
Just expect romance, comedy, and Elliot McMillan's charm all in one.
Bit of chemistry.
Yeah. Bit of flirting.
We'll put the link in the
too much.
In the description of today's episode as well. Like, give that a share as well, mate.
That.
Happy days. What platform is it crowdfunding on? Just so I know, is it GoFundMe or
on GoFundMe at the moment?
Sweet. Okay.
We're currently raising money. And there's also perks if you donate.
Okay. Got any like a signed script? Do they get like a signed Elliot McMillan selfie? Can they have a selfie with you?
That's a lot more money. Yeah. But £5 you get a shout out. £10 you get an invite to the premiere.
Decent.
£20 you get a signed copy of the screenplay.
That's cool.
£50 you can get an extra role.
Nice. Maybe I'll get an extra role.
There's a lot of perks in it.
Do I get to wear one of my fancy coats in the background? Do you know what I mean? Like pretending I'm
one of the collar.
Pop in my collar. Get your apples and pears on Camden Market. I used to do that. I used to sell shit on Camden Market. Yeah, that'd be great. Well, we'll give you a shout out definitely in today's episode. Give you a share. I wish you luck with it, mate. Raising that. That's really cool.
Thank you very much.
Nick, what are you starring in lately, apart from this podcast?
Literally nothing.
Mate.
Although to be fair, we never actually talked about this. Ellie, what have you been watching recently?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh, that was what have I watched? I've watched The Falcon, obviously.
Yeah.
I've tried to stay away from that Seaspiracy thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, I've heard.
Eating fish.
Oh mate,
about that.
I am not eating fish anymore. I watch Seaspiracy and.
That's the thing. I love fish and I don't want to stop eating fish.
Yeah, that's an ironic way of viewing it, mate. Because there might not be any fish left in a few years. So whether you like it or not, you kind of like, it doesn't matter whether or not you watch it. It's fucked up. I watched it considerably stoned, right? As I watch most things late at night, and
don't do drugs.
Yeah, don't do drugs, kids. But if you're gonna, get fucking high with me. No, I'm joking. But for real, so I was off my tits, and I'm chilling, and I absorbed most of the information in the first hour, right? And all of that's great because the guy goes undercover. It's quite intense. And then there's this bit where it lulls you into a false sense of security, and he goes, "But I've been reading on the internet about this town in rural Scotland that apparently does whaling really sustainably and is the future of sustainable fishing. And it's all these people on the side of this lake, right, or the side of this like shore, and you're thinking, oh, this is alright, and there's kids there and stuff. and you're like, oh. And then all of these people just start butchering these whales, and there's blood going everywhere, blood and guts everywhere, and it is fucking disgusting. And it is one of these moments that is actually genuine. Like, you're just seeing people butcher these whales, and these whales crying out, and it is genuinely after you've been following this filmmaker who loves animals and stuff. It is fucking traumatic, and I was not prepared for it, and I was physically traumatized by that documentary. So I am actually saying now I'm committed to eating less fish because of that, and it is seriously bad. It's seriously one of the worst things in the world. I was shocked. So all jokes aside, I was shocked by that. But I can appreciate why if you do like your cod and chips, mate. You might be ignoring it. Just you be ignorant for a couple more years, just for your own happiness. You know, I appreciate
Let
it.
me be ignorant in my ignorance.
All right. allowed. I mean, hey.
I also watched a film called Greta with my other half, which was fucked.
Yeah.
Any of you have seen it?
That's not the documentary I Am Greta, is it? About Greta Thunberg?
No.
What is Greta about? Because someone mentioned it, and I don't know what. I assumed it was that, but it's not. So what is this about?
Kick-Ass girl?
Chloe
Grace Moretz.
Moretz.
That's it.
Yeah,
it's on Netflix, I believe.
It's actually a really good film.
What's it about, though? So what is it about? I've seen it on there, but I have no idea. I assumed this was a Greta Thunberg documentary, and it's not. So.
No. So basically, she finds this bag on a train, sees the ID in it, and then goes to that person's house to give her the bag, and then they end up forming a friend. It's like this 50-year-old French woman, right? And they form a friendship, and then the woman gets a bit too.
Is this the titular Greta?
Friendly. Is this a what?
The titular Greta, the old woman.
Yeah, who's Greta?
Greta?
Yes.
Oh, right, okay. I thought Nick was making a really bad pun. I thought he went, and let me guess, is she Regretta, the friendship? I was like, fucking shut up, Nick, let him talk. Nick, your lame jokes, man.
I wasn't making a joke.
But yeah, they're having dinner in the house.
Right.
And then she goes to find a candle, and she opens this drawer, and there's fuckloads of them bags. And then shit just goes down.
Oh, no. Oh, so it's a psychological thriller.
Yeah, it's been planted.
Oh shit! It
fucks me up.
I'm regretting asking about. Oh, it's a fucking no.
Jason,
right, no.
Jason.
Yeah. Yes.
Fucking great pun there.
Thank you, mate.
Loved it.
I wrote that one myself.
Could be
nice.
All original work. That, mate. Yeah. Cool. I think, yeah.
What have you been watching, Nick?
Yeah, Nick.
I watched I Care a Lot.
Hated it.
I didn't. I liked it. Have you watched it?
Oh, about the I've heard about this.
Rosamund the Pike.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hated it.
Because she goes around scamming people with Alzheimer's, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming you have the same problem where I hated the main character.
Yeah.
Yes,
right.
it is.
I don't like her anyway since Gone Girl. Is she in she's got
she's in Gone Girl. Yeah. She's in Gone Girl.
Yeah, I'm actually scared of her.
But I think this is a pretty big problem with a film where I desperately want the main character. Spoilers, and I cheered on when the main character got shot.
It was Nick. So did I. It was fucking great.
I was like,
but is it one of those films where?
I literally said to my missus, I was like, the movie has kind of been solved now.
Right.
Yeah.
Because is it one of those films where she's fucking you off the whole time? You just wanted to get her just desserts.
Yes, it was like I couldn't stand.
Okay.
Like she's constantly making. She's firstly terrible person. Secondly, constantly making bad decisions. And it's not a film. I don't feel like it's a film like Uncut Gems. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen most of it.
You know how like he's making bad decisions, and you're like, oh god, you're an idiot. Sort of thing. I feel like it's going like, isn't she being a cool girl? Where I'm like, no, just please, for the love of God, just accept where you are. And I celebrated when she died. It was a very good decision. I also watched
annoyed how.
No, you.
What's his name?
Dinklage. Peter Dinklage. I know that because I named my penis Peter Dinklage.
He's this big boss guy, but he's got like 3 men.
Yeah. That's weird, wasn't it? But I've never there's a film with a person. I'm not gonna say, and a human trafficker, and I am siding with the human trafficker on this argument.
I see. I just casually mentioned that I call my penis Peter Dinklage, and neither of you raised an eyebrow.
I didn't hear that. I am so sorry. I'm very sorry. I apologize for that.
I'm pretty used to your shit.
Yeah. Well, it's legitimately its name. And Queen of all Westeros, Mother of Dragons, Breaker of Chains. That's how my. Anyway, like a medieval midget. Film. Oh yeah.
Did you actually?
Is it good?
Fucking awful. That film's fucking dreadful.
Isn't it a documentary about the two girls that?
No, because that would be interesting.
Oh, I thought it was about the court case about.
No, because I'm assuming you'll know about the Slender Man storyline, and it's a
and I thought two girls in America convinced some girl from school that it was real, and she killed herself.
No, they stabbed.
It's meant to be a film about that.
They stabbed her.
Yeah, that thing. Yeah.
Well, no, she died, but no, it's it was filmed in 2015. It was released in 2018, around about the time of the Slender Man stabbing. And it is it's one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life. And not in an entertaining way, in the sense where, A, the person who wrote this is very clearly 40 plus. 2,
right.
This is an internet thing. Who thought, this film was relevant 10 years ago when the 6 pages came out? Not in 2018. Right. Who the fuck was Slender Man, he's fucking relevant in the Slender Mansion. Yeah, that's right. I've been reading creepypastas all goddamn day.
Right.
This film is awful. Joey King, you were in Wishmaker. What the fuck it was? Great film. Hilarious. That is a film that's so bad it's good. Shout out to Wishmaker. Oh, the fuck it. Wishmaster, Wishmaker. That film was 1 minute. Let me search this up. Because that film is goddamn phenomenal. Ryan Felipe. Get at me.
Ryan Felipe.
Slender Man it's a terrible film.
So can I just understand it? Because it's not a documentary based on the internet phenomena of Slender Man.
Wish Upon.
And
that's the one I was thinking of. Yeah. Sorry. Continue.
Wish Upon. Okay. And so is this like a horror film? You taking the Slender Man trope and then putting it into a shit. Is it real? Imagine it. Is it like a person walking through the woods and a tall lanky geezer's following them in the dark?
Yeah. So it's what if Slender Man was real?
But it's
it is that's all he is, isn't he? In a suit.
Yeah, it is essentially it.
It's just a very tall pit bull in a suit.
Yes.
Right.
It's Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. Forrest White.
Yeah,
oh
but
dear.
It's, I don't know what it is about
now I've got shit pop music in my head. Right.
People out of the internet who are going, well, the kids like this thing.
Yeah.
Let's make a film about it.
It's the horror equivalent of the Winter Soldier problem. It's going, right, well, let's flog them this bullshit. And it's treat me a bit smarter than that. If you're going to piggyback off the Slender Man thing, then make it like a found footage video and just drop it on YouTube for free and pretend as though you didn't make it. That would go viral. The people would shit themselves. And then they go, oh no, it was actually just we produced it, we made it. It's not actually a real thing, and now we're selling it to Netflix, and we'll do the making of thing on Netflix, and then loads of people watch that. That's what they should really do. Go all out, do a Blair Witch Project for the internet, but actually, do you know what? Actually, fucking murder someone. Just go and kill someone, and then go, yeah, we did, and we just did it for the sake of making a film. And then people.
No? To be honest, I would actually be very interested in watching a film about a group of people making a film that was then kind of unintentionally hijacked by a murder.
Yeah,
I feel like that would be very interesting. That would be very interesting.
Like those.
We were making a film, and then a real life murder occurred, and now we have to not use this. That would be actually. I think that'd be great. You see
that'd be way better.
But
So
it was made in like 8 years ago, and they released it like a year ago, and it is the worst film I've ever seen in the last 3 weeks. Because I've been watching a lot of shit films recently.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else I've watched. What films are you looking forward to this year, guys? You got any other things that you're really looking forward to? I've sort of said about my Matrix. I'm looking forward to Matrix 4 as long as they don't balls it up. Or as long as they redeem the story. I'll go halfway with you guys. I don't think that the sequels were as good as what they could have been. And I'd like them to redeem the Matrix franchise for me.
You know what film I am looking forward to, which is out next May?
Go on.
Mission Impossible 7.
Oh, yeah. I think some of the stunts look quite cool. I was watching like I said, I watched Tom Cruise on the Graham Norton thing, and I actually do respect him for the level of stunt work. You know, I didn't realise that the jets in the new Top Gun film, all of that is real, and they're pulling like 7 Gs in these fucking jets, and that is obviously impressive. If you're flying at nearly 1,000 miles an hour and doing all that stuff, you know, he really did that, and hats off to him for that. So,
do you want to know why I'm excited for it?
Go on.
Because I fucking spent a day on set.
Oh, are you allowed to say that?
Well, I said it now.
Cool. That's really cool, mate. Well done.
So yeah, that was a good day.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I won't spoil the plot, but I'll just.
You're not allowed to tell us how you try to take over the world.
No.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I wondered why you had all that makeup on.
There was a lot of makeup, to be honest.
Nick, you got anything to announce you're looking forward to? Is anything coming out this year that you're pumped for?
I'm gonna be honest. A lot of the films that I've not watched a recent trailer, although there was that trailer for the Marvel show.
Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings?
Yes, which it's good to see a Marvel show with legitimately good fight choreography.
Yeah. I thought that as well.
The last Kung Fu Marvel show was Iron Fist, and that had the worst fight scenes I've ever seen in a Marvel thing. So
I like
it's
the
good to have,
CGI with the
fight choreography.
I agree. I like seeing the lion flying through the air as well. That looks like, you know, if there are lions that can fly in a film, I'm happy. That's my bar. No, but it looks quite good. The one thing that annoyed me about that, kind of gave me the idea for this show, is someone posted this meme like showing in Iron Man the 10 rings and the terrorist flag in the background and how they've hidden it so well. And I was thinking, no. I'm not having this, right? Because this is people that are even less intelligent than me that don't actually read any of the comics and then go, oh, how did they come up with this? How did they feed this storyline through these other films with the Ten Rings terrorist organization? I'm like, they've had 50 years of comic. Like, this is the plan. It's not like really convenient. It's not really clever. Like, it's just. Do you know what I mean? Am I being a prick, or is it a bit over?
Almost definitely, yes, but well, because the Mandarin was in it's Iron Man 3, wasn't it?
Yeah,
by
I was like,
Kingsley.
Yeah.
So they have referenced it, but it was a different organisation, I believe.
Right.
Or at least it was.
Because I was like, is it a big deal that it was? Sorry, mate.
No, I'm saying because I feel like I think they in Iron Man 3, Peter Kingsley plays a Mandarin, but I think they're probably ignoring that, and I think maybe the villains in Iron Man 1 were maybe 10 rings, but I don't.
Yeah,
I'm not entirely sure on what they talk about because I wasn't paying attention.
No, but I was just thinking. No, fair enough. But I was just thinking as a point. I was like, well, yeah, it's just. Of course, that's the whole thing of it. They've tied it in with the universe, and I was just like, it's cool, but it's not. It's not like some crazy conspiracy that someone's unlocked that was really like kind of niche within the thing. Like it was. It's all part of the plan. Like, do you know what I mean? So it'll be interesting to see how that film fits in and what they I don't know what they fit in with it. I think there was a bit of. It'll be interesting to see with the Doctor Strange film how a lot of the world building of One Division
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with that.
Yeah, because it depends how they bring it together. Because clearly, I was trying to touch upon the Val character with. Sorry, what is his name? What is his official? The John Walker character in the end?
US agent.
Yeah, US agent. Yeah. So I felt like the Val character was similar in scope. That's probably that she says this line at the very end of the episode where she says everything's about to get weird around here, and I'm gonna need you. Which is obviously a bit of is this going to feed into that storyline? So I think that is obviously the pinnacle of how that's going to have to play out. They have to get that right to tie in all of these things to build the next phase of the MCU. It'd be interesting to see how they do it. There you go. Trying to think, any other universes I'd like to see? Either of you seen Kong versus Godzilla yet? I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I saw it.
Did you pay for it?
No. Oh, I mean, yeah.
But it was loads of money. It's like 16 quid to download it on your fucking telly, and I was like, you have to be having a laugh.
I just love my films, Nick.
Okay, fair play. Right, is it good? I mean, I haven't seen it yet. Actually, don't tell me because I want to watch it.
I mean, I did enjoy it.
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna watch that. Nick, have you seen it?
No, I've not.
Okay.
I think I've only watched one film in that entire franchise. To be fair.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't worry about the franchise.
Film.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I've literally watched 0.
Yeah, I don't think it's one that you need to like. Is the monkey the good guy? I don't you need to worry about. Wait, which character's this? Is the moth one in love with the lizard one? I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, universes, lads. Got anything else to add? I'm trying to tie this up like in a sort of media fresh way.
The Star Wars universe is a lot more interesting if you ignore the mainstream films. And
I love Star Wars.
It would probably be a lot better if they just completely ignored the mainstream films.
Well, you always say that, mate, but that's like...
Everyone hates the new films.
Yeah,
And
I mean, yeah.
The last 6 films have not been good.
Alright, yeah, I'll give you that. They had some good ideas.
To a lot of good shit in the extended universe.
Yeah.
The extended universe is unbelievable.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of the Clone Wars animated stuff and...
Yeah, Clone Wars... Glorious.
All of that.
Rogue One is one of my favourite films.
Yeah, I went back and rewatched that, and I like that as well. Yeah, that's a good shout. Yeah, fair play to them. I'll look forward to seeing how that pans out because I do think they've done a much better job in terms of actually giving us like storylines that you want to see. Like I was never a Star Wars fan as a kid. Even now, like. Yeah, I totally buy it. I totally get that, which is weird for me to say now as an older person. But I think they're the best. You know, the Mandalorian was done the best, and hopefully is it Boba Fett, the other one they're doing, and
got the Bad Bunch coming out.
Bad Bunch, yeah. There's about 4 or 5 I know that they've got planned. And I've talked quite a bit before about the showrunner of Avatar that now is basically entrusted with Lucasfilm, and I think he's one of the best. Dave Filoni, his name is.
Dave Filoni.
Yeah, yeah, and he's great. So if he could just go ahead and go over to DC and just sort that out, that'd be sweet, mate. I'd like that if they could just give him the reins to like all of my creative anything that I want to see,
or just give Kevin Feige the keys.
Yeah, why not? Why not? I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't. Well, it will be interesting in the next couple of years to see if DC can compete or if they go in a totally different way. Because I think Marvel's now having to compete with itself as well, where they can't recreate the success that they've had. They have to sort of diversify their stories and how that all plays out because they're simply too big a machine now. They can't do it again. Do you know what I mean? And go back to basics and do an Iron Man. They're gonna have to sort of have. Well, I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do, to be honest with you. But it'd be interesting to see what they do. Universes. Fuck.
There's a lot of exciting stuff coming.
Exactly. Nick, got anything else to add?
No, I'm gonna be honest, not really.
Right, sweet.
I love
Universes.
you all.
Yes, love you all. Thank you for coming back on the podcast.
Lads.
Yeah, we can actually go to the pub soon. Couple of weeks.
I can't wait.
I'm not a big fan. I was going to go to the pub the other day, but it was like sort of 7, 8 o'clock, and I was like, I don't really want to sit in a garden at this time of night. You know, I do want to get back in a pub, but it'll happen, lads, and I'll be there. I'll see you there. Whether or not I'm having a 0% beer or not, who knows? But that's what we do these days. Cheers, guys. I appreciate you coming on. Let's try and make this a regular thing again, and I will come up with some more podcast ideas. So,
Sounds good.
Thank you very much. That's been Universes with the final cut, half cut with me, Jason, Nick, and Elliot. Cheers, boys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
You too. Peace.